So you are leading me right into the sixth question. Is repair possible? Donald Trump is gone. The regime is out of power, not only to rebuild needed security operations and military operations, but also just as important, rebuilding trust globally. Can our historic allies ever trust the U.S. again?
Yes, but it's going to take an exceptional change. I mean, MAGA itself as a force will have to be rejected and humiliated. All of those people who are sycophants, who are enabling Trump, must be held to account. And this time account doesn't mean, oh, we're going to put a couple in jail and let the leadership off. The Republican leadership, we're going to we catch every one of them that did inside trading. Every person that made $1 off this government, they need to go and get that money back, right? Trump's family needs to be stripped of all of its money. Waste, fraud, and abuse that was done at the direction of the president must be held accountable, and their personal fortunes must be jimmied for that. As far as I'm concerned, Ivanka, Don Jr., Eric, they need to quietly board a plane to Abu Dhabi and exile themselves and never come back. By the way, full disclosure, I lived in Abu Dhabi for 10 years. This time of year, you do not want to be in Abu Dhabi, right?
Yeah.
The 105 degrees
Well,
in the
accountability
shade.
is top of the list. That's no question.
But this requires what I call FDJFK. We need a Franklin Delano John F. Kennedy to come in one person, in one package, who will say, I'm going to restore America at a level, one, Roosevelt-like, right? I'm going to create systems, processes for the little guy in America. You're going to social America, social services, everybody's getting it. First thing I would do is President Malcolm Nance, I would lower the retirement age to 64. Boom, right? All of you get your money. Go retire. Go do something nice. Go to the gardening store. Full, all of our children will eat for free. No American will be on the streets and starve again. People with mental health will get their mental health treatment. You have already tried what it's like to be an evil, mean-spirited, stingy bastard America. And it sucks. And not one of you is a Christian. Jesus Christ, his actual meanings, right, will be front and center here. Right? The same Jesus that's in the Quran, right? The same Jesus that was a Jewish carpenter from Nazareth, right? A Jewish rabbi. Everybody will agree with this. You will be good. Sesame Street will be elevated back to the pinnacle of television. Public television will be 100% United States funded, and by statute cannot have its money removed. Every vestige of Donald Trump will be removed.
You're suggesting that the lesson of these Trump years might actually be learned by the American people, that the price that they've paid for refusing or being unable to recognize what we were at risk of experiencing if that guy got back in power. Now they've seen it. Now they're living through it. Now they're facing the consequences of it. Maybe Americans will be ready to do something different.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, but it's going to take an FDJFK, right?
Yeah.
If that's Gavin Newsom, and I've heard Gavin Newsom speak up pretty strongly, this is a chance. I'm sorry to say it, this is a once in a 150-year chance for somebody to embody all that is good, the best of every president of the United States. And here's the key component. You cannot feel that you cannot say things plainly. Right? Because the phrase that I have been saying every time I got on television, back before when I left MSNBC, when I now speak out at these forums, I always say this: what is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why are you so evil and hateful and stingy and un-American? And they go, well, I'm American, I'm a patriot. I go, no, you're a rat bastard. You're a rat bastard, and you should be kicked out of this country. You should be in Russia. You love the KGB director so much. Whoever speaks like this and says, I'm restoring America, you can come along with us. If you want to call us socialist commie America, here's one thing those guys never learned. The most socialist organization / communist organization in America is the armed forces of the United States. Okay. Yeah. And you love the military, full-scale socialism. You love your fire department, full-scale socialism. You love your streets being made, full-scale socialism. You're an idiot. Learn what America is. right? Learn to love America of all Americans. Otherwise, you get out. It was not intended to be the white paradise that the Ku Klux Klan always wanted it to be. And we're this
So does
close
part
to the
of
third revival of the Klan.
so this
in
I
America.
just want one last question here.
Sure.
Is it your view that that the 2026 midterms, 129 days from now, starts the change you're talking about? I mean, obviously
Absolutely.
the need for an overwhelming defeat of the Republicans is clear, but I mean, we talk about 2028, and another time we'll talk about, you know, possibilities of who that person is. But it does seem to me that if we don't get through the midterms, then what you're envisioning ain't going to happen.
No, what I'm envisioning is, you know, a couple of times, my last book that I wrote was called They Want to Kill Americans.
Mm.
And it was about what would happen if Trump loses an election, right? And the rise of QAnon theory and all that stuff in the Republican Party and how they are in love with guns. There have been dozens of right-wing extremist incidents in the last 10 years, dozens, where guys have killed federal officers, these boogaloo boys gunned down people thinking the revolution is coming. White boy summer, as they call it, was coming. Other guys who thought the book, The Order, right, the Turner Diaries, was a template, and that they could start hanging liberals on the day of the noose, as they called it. This was becoming a reality. It's becoming a real reality. And if Trump cheats or patently just says we're not going to do this election, or just say, I'm in charge, that's it, America can go to revolution.
Mm. Yeah.
And I want, as a Philadelphian, I do not want a blood revolution. I want a color revolution. A color revolution is a popular uprising from the streets up, in which the vestiges of power are pushed out through, opprobrium and shame, right? And are pushed out. And Trump is the kind of guy that will turn this into Ukraine's 2014, orange revolution, where he'll call out the Berkut and start mass murdering citizens. And I think he is cornered into that, because to him, it's all about his historical place in history.
Well,
and I think this time
we're
he'll
going to
do
have
it.
some exciting months ahead of us.
Oh my God, I hope not.
Let's try to keep our cool as much as we can and be ready.
Yeah.
Because it's going to ask. I think it's going to ask a lot of us, a lot of everyone, to pay attention, not look away, and recognize the responsibilities to America. If you're interested in the survival of the democracy, that's
Yes.
you're warning us to be ready for it. So I thank you for that.